Hello, I'm Samuel. I'm teaching Old Testament at NTC, and often when we come to the prophetic books, Isaiah, Jeremiah and Ezekiel, we're easily overwhelmed because they're just like this. They're forests. They're very big, they're very deep, and sometimes they're very dark. And so one of the ways that we think about, especially with Isaiah, is to think about how can we break this book up? How can we make us help see the trees rather than the forest as a whole? And how can that help us to understand this book and apply it to our own lives? In Isaiah's case, as you may know, it's traditionally held that the book consists of 3 parts, chapters 1 to 39, 40 to 55, and 56 to 66. This is not a scholarly fantasy or any attempt to undermine that the Bible can speak beyond its original audiences, but it's something that comes out of reading these books. These 3 books in one. In the first section, chapters 1 to 39, we're sitting in the Assyrian crisis, and we have 2 kings who trust and don't trust Yahweh. And so from chapter 39 to 40, we're shifting about 100 years forward. So no prophet, not even Isaiah, could have spoken all this way through. In chapters 40 to 55, we are in the Babylonian exile, and we hear about a message of sprouting forth now, of comfort. And in chapters 56 to 66, we're moving into a slightly different realm, where we are in a community and we're having questions of how do we live together now, after the disaster, after the fall of Jerusalem? How do we work together with foreigners? How do we think about the Sabbath? And how do we think about worship? And so each of these parts of the book has its own vision, and I think each of them gives us an interesting angle into pastoral ministry. So in the first 39 chapters, the question of who do you trust? Why do you walk from God and follow your own devices? Why can you not rest and trust the Lord with your life? Those pastoral questions come in the first 39 chapters over and over again, exposing the false trust that the people of God have. In chapters 40 to 55, we find 2 particular speeches of the people. In chapter 40, where Israel says, "My way is hidden from the Lord. My right has been disregarded." The people in exile feel that God has abandoned them, that God is not present, that He does not care. And in the final part of the book, we have a people who are already past the salvation. They're back in the land, but they still don't trust Yahweh. They don't trust that the salvation that God has brought to them is a first glimpse of the final salvation of the kingdom that He will bring to them. And so each part of Isaiah gives us a different view of the prophet of God as a counselor who sits back and asks the questions, why do you not trust me? And the middle part, why do you not know that I comfort you, that I come through you, that your way is not hidden from me? And the final part of the book, the question, will you live now? The question that looms large in the New Testament as well. Will you not now live in light of the salvation that I promised you, of which you already see glimpses? So Isaiah, in its scholarly discussion, in the 3-part division, of course, we can read the book as one book. We can appreciate it as one forest. But we can also go and look at the different sections and the different inspiration that they give us for pastoral ministry, for preaching, and appreciate and embrace this enduring vision of Isaiah that Jesus and Paul just can't quote often enough, and see how it again speaks to us in our own settings of difficult narratives that we need to challenge, of comfort that is not believed but so real, and of the challenge of assimilation, of leaving behind the things that were taught in light of challenges in the present.